What's up, everybody? It's been a while, year and a half or so. I haven't put out a lot of videos. I've made some, I've recorded some and made them. I just haven't put them out yet. I don't know why. Here's one of them. This is from last year. It was a video I made with the Frontier. I took it up north, went hunting with it. I decided to drive it from my blind all the way back up to the house where I stay up there at the property, and that's probably 3/4 of a mile. It is a 2-track, but there's a lot of spots there where a normal chair just gets stuck and won't go through, which the Frontier had no problems. So again, I made this video like a year ago, so I just never got around to putting it out. So here it is. Enjoy. We have the Frontier up here this weekend, and I thought I would show you guys, just kind of give you a glimpse of what this thing really does. So I'm gonna take the trail out and go all the way up the pole barn. I'm gonna try and keep the camera as steady as possible so that I'll make you all seasick. But I'll show you some of the terrain that this thing's got to go through to get me out here. Nice little bit of mud right here, nothing this thing can't handle. But this time of year the ground gets a little mushy. It's close to that freezing and thawing cycle, so when it gets to that point in time, it's during the morning the ground's pretty hard, and in the afternoon when it warms up it thaws out a little bit and turns into mush. So, but the Frontier is up to the task all the time. I really think that this wheelchair should be a standard for every disabled person on the planet, but that's just me, because it just does things that normal wheelchairs don't do. The power and the torque are just off the charts on this thing. There's some areas in trail up here that we'll get to where every other wheelchair that I've ever owned will get stuck, guaranteed. I don't drive all the way out here all the time because I usually bring the van out here because my wheelchairs just flat out won't make it. So speaking of the van, there is the van there. This is where we usually park it. My brother's sitting there playing around with my GoPro trying to get more footage of me doing this stuff. So it's one of the gun blinds up here. It sits on the edge of this cornfield and looks nicely down this power line here. Way down there, gives you a nice space to shoot. So sorry for the wobbliness of the camera. It's even as smooth as the Frontier rides, this is still a pretty rough ride. So it does ride smoother than any other wheelchair I've ever driven, that's for sure. The way the bogie arms articulate up and down, and the soft tires, the suspension, everything, it rides like a dream. So this is the back side of the field here. This is the place where I hunt is over 340 acres, so got plenty of room to play around up here. This is on the back side of a cornfield over here. that runs a big chunk of the middle section of this side of the property, so another gun blind sitting up there on the hill there. The gentleman that owns this place has quite a few blinds around here, so he's a really nice guy, probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life. I've been coming up here for, I think, 14 years now, and he's built me 3 blinds that are all completely wheelchair accessible in different parts of the property, so I have different areas to hunt in. So all my blinds are sitting off of the 2-track here somewhere, so that I can at least get my van close to one and then drive my chair the rest of the way. But now having the Frontier, I can pretty much, I don't need the van. I can just drive out to whichever blind I want whenever I want, because there's nowhere to get stuck anymore. In the time that I've been up here, I've owned, the Frontier will be the 4th wheelchair I've had in the past 14 years that I've been hunting here. And let's see, there was 3 Invocares and an Amy Systems in all-track. The Invocares were, what was that, an Arrow, 2 Arrows, and a Ranger X. Here's some more sand here. This is all fresh. They just put this down here a couple, I don't know, months ago, because this was all washed out back here. It's really, really soft. Chair's sinking in it a little bit and struggling a smidge, but still trucking through it. So, in true Frontier style, it just doesn't stop. Might bog a little bit and slide, but it just digs in and keeps on going. So, but yeah, in the past, let's see, I had the 2 Arrows and a Ranger, and Amy Systems all-track, and all 3 of those chairs, none of those 3 would make it all the way back here. Not down this trail anyway. There's another trail on the other side of the property that leads to another one of my blinds. It's much smoother, and it's all hard packed grass like this stuff I'm driving on now, so it's pretty simple. Those chairs could all do that side of the property, but not this side of the property. There's a lot of sand and gravel and mud over here on this side, and the only way to get out this way was with the van. So, but now that we have the Frontier, it's opened all the doors. This morning I went down behind one of my blinds way out back into the hardwoods, and I was sitting on the edge of the swamp down there, and I've never even seen it before because I've never been able to get to it. So that was pretty cool. This is coming around to the gun bench here. This is where we sight in our rifles and whatnot. But same cornfield. I've been driving around here. So this is one of the targets that we shoot at. And here again, we're in some sand. This is pretty loose sand. This isn't, it may not look very loose on the camera because it's rained last night and it's all packed down, but it's pretty soft. So this is another spot that my Invacare chairs all got stuck here, so did my all-track, so they wouldn't go through this. And as you can see, we just cleared right through it like it was nothing. The chair goes through it, over the top of it, like it's not even there. It's absolutely amazing. No, sorry. Trying to hold the camera and keep my balance and go up a hill and drive a chair. So here we are, still in the same cornfield, just coming up to the bend here, but these are some nice, fairly steep hills. up and down this 2-track here. And it's this one's got a lot of rocky terrain in it, and big stones and stuff in the ground, so it's a bit of a bumpy ride, but again, nothing this chair doesn't do. Probably hear the van behind me because my brother's trying to get some footage on the GoPro too, so we tried putting it on the hood earlier and he wanted to hold it and see if he could do it that way. So here's some mucky sand stuff. Nope, no problem. Turned a little bit, but caught a little bit of the tire, but right through, no big deal. It's another day at the work, another day at the office for the Frontier. Going up this steep hill. Slow down a little bit so I don't lose my balance. And we're out. Chair never slows down. Unless you let it. That was another spot back there, that sandy, mucky stuff that I would have got stuck guaranteed in every other chair. This is another spot here coming up this hill. This is coming out and up. And coming up towards the pole barn here to the front of the property, up closer to the road. More soft sand here, no problem. Roll right through. This chair really should be the Medicaid standard for every disabled person in the United States, because there's not another chair on the planet that would have done this. Not even, I don't know. Well, a track chair would do it, but you'd still be a quarter of the way done because it's so slow, and by the time you got done with this, you would have used a third of your battery for the whole day because it only has 3 miles range. So here we are. We're up, we're out, we're past the pole barn. And that's it. It's all downhill and easy peasy from here because now we're out on the dirt road, and next stop is the house. So go down here and hit the driveway and we'll be back. So that's just to show you what it's like. A little sample of what this thing does. How easily it just treks through everything, never gets stuck. So I hope you liked that. Sorry the video ended a little abruptly there. The battery on my camera died while I was videoing it. I thought it would make it through the whole thing, but it did not. So a little abrupt on the ending there. I am going to be making a lot more stuff here in the near future. I've got some good projects on the line. I've got a new wheelchair coming that my daily driver wheelchair that the insurance company pays for. That's on its way. It should be here in another couple weeks. I'm going to take you through the process of making that thing into a Marty approved wheelchair, putting lights on it, tires on it, getting it all ready for my daily use, with all the creature comforts I like to install on them. And then we're also going to go over how to mount a gun to a wheelchair. That's going to be a fun one. So got some good stuff coming up. Got the house all cleaned up here, and finally got my workbench back in order after the holidays, and got all the Christmas lights, everything gone. So got everything put away so we can start working on some fun stuff. Like I said, wheelchairs and a whole gun mount, which will be interesting for the world to see, because it's probably the single most asked question I get is, how do you shoot a gun? How do you shoot a crossbow? Where does that sit at on your chair? How does that work? It's, it's all custom made because there is no catalog you can go to and just order something like that. I mean, there are companies that make that stuff out there, but they're few and far between, and their product is, while it works really well, it's very expensive. So it doesn't really help me much. So, not a lot of us have, thousands of dollars to drop on it. So, my mount systems that I make probably cost about $100 in materials. So a little time and labor, and it's all good. So anyways, so we'll be doing that in the future here. The Frontier is still running well. I've just been enjoying it. It's really nice to be able to get out in it and just go wherever and do whatever the hell you want, whenever you want. It's running good. I rebuilt the gearboxes on it and went through a bunch of rigmarole just to find out that it needed new motors anyway. So, unfortunately, I didn't record that, but I did record the gearbox replacement. So I'll definitely put that one up, and pretty soon here I'll do just a little video snippet on it, and just kind of go over what's going on with it. And it's pretty much the same chair it was last video that you saw it, so nothing big changes to it. So when I get rid of my current chair that I have, I'm going to probably take some parts off of it and put them on the Frontier to upgrade it a little more than what it is now. So anyways, thanks for continuing to watch, and we'll catch you next time.